Welcome to Musto Invest in Cambodia, and in today's video I'll be answering to you the question: is Cambodia a safe country? Should you visit Cambodia, and should you pay attention to what you hear about Cambodia, which is not always the most positive? But before you start, don't forget to like the video, share to your friends, subscribe to Musto Invest in Cambodia, and hit the notification button if you have any questions about Cambodia. If you need any legal service or assistance in the country, feel free to contact us on our two official websites, on our Facebook meta page or Instagram page. And let's get started. So yes, Cambodia is a country in Southeast Asia, and there's both a lot of good and bad that is talked about Cambodia. But myself, living in Cambodia for over 13 years, I have encountered a lot of negative news about Cambodia, such as it being dangerous, it being expensive, it being not a really friendly place for travelers to go to. And yes, myself, I want to address these issues, and I want to discuss with everyone and give my own opinion and my experience in living in this beautiful country. First of all, is Cambodia really that dangerous? I can say that myself, having lived in Cambodia for 13 years, having lived since I was a teenager to being a business consultant, I can say Cambodia is an extremely safe country. And yes, there were some instances, maybe bag snatching is sometimes a problem, but I have seen over time it being less frequent than it was in the past. And what is the reason why I'm saying like this? It's because the police in Cambodia is quite strict, and the system in which the police operates in Cambodia, everything is monitored, and in fact it is quite safe to go walking even at night in Cambodia. I can tell you that Cambodia is a safe country. Of course, as any other country in the world, you should be careful. You shouldn't carry many expensive things at night. You should always put your bag in the middle if you're riding a tuk-tuk, a rickshaw, or driving a motorbike. Of course, it is sometimes like that bag snatching happens, but it is very rare. I can tell you that Phnom Penh city, for being a capital city of a country, is very safe, and I feel more safe in Cambodia, in Phnom Penh city or Sihanoukville than I feel in Europe. I can say in Europe, especially from where I grew up in Italy, it is quite unsafe. Even for me as a local, it's quite unsafe to walk at night, to go inside the metro or to go inside the tram or the bus. A lot of pickpocketing. But here in Cambodia, yes, you have to be careful, but overall it is very safe. And what about some other information, some articles about Cambodia being so controlled by China, this and that? I can say that Cambodia is actually an open country, and Cambodia welcomes everyone, every investor, every foreigner that is willing to come to the country, invest legally, and also do good for the country. Cambodia has experienced a lot of years of uncertainty and hardship, especially in the 1970s when the Khmer Rouge took over the country, and the country was actually one of the top in Southeast Asia. In the 1960s, the country was prospering, but in the 1970s, when the communist regime took over, then Cambodia went backwards and everything was destroyed, and even there was no currency. So I can say this is not a true claim, because I can say Cambodia welcomes all investors, and of course China has played a big contribution in building new roads, in building infrastructure, but I can say Cambodia is a very open-minded country. We have investors from all over the world, from France, that actually contributed in the construction of the new port in Cambodia. And we also have the airports that have actually been contributed by a French company, the Vinci Group. But we also have American investment, we have Indian investment, we have Russian investment. So I can say there are investors all over the world that invest in Cambodia. We have many Koreans in Sihanoukville at the moment. We have many Indonesians in Sihanoukville at the moment. So I can say that the narrative is absolutely not true. And the country, the government has actually done a great effort in making sure the country is growing. Prime Minister Hun Sen has ruled the country very well, and with Hun Manet taking over, I see a lot of improvement in the infrastructure, in the new roads, and the overall life for Cambodians. You can ask any Cambodian and I can guarantee you that they have seen a big change, and the middle class in Cambodia is actually increasing. More and more people are getting wealthy, and the poverty rate, if you check in the statistics, has actually gone down by a lot. And Cambodia aims to become a middle income country by 2030, and I do believe this will happen because I see a lot of good effort by Prime Minister Hun Manet that is really bringing the country upwards. Of course, Cambodia is not a perfect country, there are problems, but this is in every country. Every country has problems, every country has issues. It's not only Cambodia. I can say that Cambodia is much safer than Europe, and it's much easier to live here than it is in Europe or in America. The bureaucracy here is very low compared to other countries in Europe and in America. We can say the Western world. Cambodia offers many opportunities for foreigners. And before you judge the country by just watching a YouTube video or some TikTok shorts, I urge everyone to just come to this country, experience it by yourself. Of course, it's not for everyone, I understand this, but definitely you should come here, you should experience. You cannot just look at some data and then think, oh, this country is not for me. You should actually come here personally. And talking about data, yes, recently I have actually seen that Phnom Penh City was ranked the second most expensive city in Asia. Is it really true? This is absolutely false narrative, false information about Phnom Penh City, because myself, I'm living here for 13 years. I have lived 12 years in Phnom Penh City, and yes, I do agree that Phnom Penh City is becoming more expensive, and I can see inflation. But if you see inflation in Cambodia compared to inflation in the US, in Canada, we are talking about less than 5% inflation per year, which is very low compared to other places around the world. I think Cambodia, using the US dollar and the Cambodian riel, has really benefited because the stable currency makes prices also stable, not like in other countries where the local currency is losing value, and once the currency loses value they have to keep increasing prices, while Cambodia, with its both economic stability, political stability, and also the currency stability, makes it harder for prices to increase. Of course, things are getting more expensive, I do agree, and this is a fact, but still, you can live cheap here. You can rent even a room as low as $100 per month. And I'm not kidding, this is Phnom Penh City. And you can find cheap food for as low as $1 to $1.5 if you eat local Cambodian food. Of course, if you go to expensive restaurants, the meal can be $5, $10, $15. But to say that Phnom Penh City is the second most expensive city in Asia, this is absolutely incorrect. It is not true. I have been to almost all major cities in Southeast Asia, and I can say this is false. Phnom Penh can be an extremely affordable city. Just depends where you're gonna eat, where you're going to sleep. You can sleep for $100 per month, and you can also sleep in a penthouse for $1,800 per month. So it really depends. And the same for food. You can eat a cheap meal for $1, and you can also eat a $15 meal or a $40 meal at Naga World. So it really depends where you eat. And lastly, Sihanoukville. I have to talk about Sihanoukville because a lot of bad information, a lot of negative information about Sihanoukville. Sihanoukville, on my opinion, is going to become the next Shenzhen or the next big metropolis. It reminds me a lot of Pattaya in Thailand, but you have to understand, Sihanoukville prior to 2017 was a very small town. It had a few guest houses, hotels on the beach, and it was a small town. And after the construction boom that actually happened in before COVID, then a lot of skyscrapers, a lot of tall buildings actually suddenly came out from the ground. And yes, after the ban on online gambling that was imposed during COVID by former Prime Minister Hun Sen, a lot of unfinished buildings have remained. But the city is not a nice city or is dangerous. I can say Sihanoukville is a very nice city, and all the roads have been completed, so it's actually very nice. And I see only Sihanoukville getting better, because now with this new program, with the 3 years, 5 years, 10 years visa that will be issued for investors, these unfinished buildings will be completed. But even now, with the unfinished buildings, there are many nice condos that have been built with great views, great facilities, and many Indonesians, many Koreans that actually came to the city, even Western people, many Western people that came to Sihanoukville. Actually, the number of Chinese has reduced. So you cannot say that Sihanoukville is not a nice city. It's actually clean, organized, and the beaches are beautiful, they are clean. We have Korong Island, Korong Samlam Island, we have Kota Kio Island that are just 30 to 45 minutes by boat from Sihanoukville, and definitely you should come to Sihanoukville and see by yourself. I think Sihanoukville is very underrated. There is a huge potential right now because the city is slowly growing, and I believe it will be the most important city in Cambodia after Phnom Penh very soon, because of its new port that is being built and renovated from the existing port. So I think a lot of potential. Of course, Cambodia is not a perfect country, it has problems, but we cannot deny that the country is clean, the country is moving towards the right direction. You feel free in Cambodia, a lot of freedom. You can easily open a bank account, you can easily register your own company, do business legally, you can extend your visa easily for 6 months, for 12 months, you can live continuously as I did for the past 13 years. So definitely, yes, any country has problems, but Cambodia is very underrated on my opinion compared to other countries, and I have been to more than 21 countries around the world. So if you're interested to come to Cambodia and check out by yourself, see what the country is like by your own opinion, not just by judging a book by its cover, by just watching some random videos, you can definitely contact us. We have tours across Cambodia. If you just want to go around Cambodia, you want to visit Sihanoukville or Phnom Penh City or Siem Reap, we do organize tours. If you want to check some real estate there, we also organize such tours. You can contact us on our two official websites or our Facebook Meta page or Instagram page. So comment below if you have any other questions about Cambodia. I can say Cambodia is definitely a very attractive destination. It's not as developed as Thailand or Vietnam, but eventually it will reach that level. It will take some time, but definitely the government has done a tremendous job and Cambodia will only get better. This is all I have for you today. Thank you so much and I'll see you next time.